And last we left our intrepid adventurers, they all got luck tokens because they made it to a shrine of Hades, and Hades blessed them because they were kind to that father and son team who were waiting at the banks of the river Styx and didn't have the 2 gold coins apiece in order to pay Charon to go down the river Styx to be reunited with his wife and the child's mother. So seeing that you guys were willing to take what little you had and give it to them with expecting nothing in return, that's the spirit that he's trying to encourage in you, because he's like, oh, they're going to go out, they're going to try and do valorous things. They're risking. That was the 2 gold that you guys were given in order to be able for you to get back to the river Styx. So you're banking your own future that you're going to be able to earn more gold coins to get back. So he was very impressed by that, and he each gave you his blessing, which of course in game terms is you have a luck token. For those of you playing 5e, that's like a point of inspiration.
Yeah.
So you're doing some more trucking along. Your torch, however, let's see, I forgot to put the thing on here. So
Yes.
it's taken, that means 2 hours has passed. No, I'm just kidding. So,
Just walking around pitch black.
right, I'm gonna walk around pitch black. So here we go. So I'm gonna pull this and go to the next area that you go through. I take back half the stuff that Steven says about you. You're all right.
I don't think so. Tim?
When I was saying it,
All right.
I totally agree with me though.
All right. It's been roughly a half an hour to get to there. Okay.
I always do.
So, and this is my torchlight timer that I put on here. So this keeps track of the torch time in ShadowDark. The torches burn in real time. But if you spend, like if you say, okay, it took you a half an hour to get there, we're not just gonna sit here for half an hour. So on this, you can pop it in here. Boop. If I hit the button right, there we go. Pull it off, and you can add or subtract time from the timer, then go back to hardcore mode to get rid of it. And that way the time has been taken off the torch. So just go to torchlighttimer.com. It's totally free. There's no ads, there's nothing. I developed that for the ShadowDark community. You guys get to here, and there's this giant, for lack of a better term, nest is what you see. There's like sticks and rocks and cloth and bits of everything in there. But you also see human and half-orc bodies. Looks like there's like 3 would-be adventurers that were in there. They're each wearing leather armor, and they've got rusty swords. So there's like weapons on there and stuff. But you hear some rustling noise from inside of there. There's something in there, and it's clear that the three former adventurers, they're clearly dead. They're not sleeping. So, and they've got like little bite marks all over them. It looks, and some decomposition. So it looks like they've been dead probably maybe a week or so. And there's been something that's been gnawing away at them. So, and you also see off on the side, there's like a little natural cavern way going out this way here. So you guys know, if you've seen adventurers, it's almost like if you see a seagull when you're out at sea, you must be somewhere close to land, or in your case, you must be getting close to the actual surface world itself. What do you want to do? You want to just bypass them, or do you want to try and get the weapons and armor? What are you going to do about the rustling noise that you hear in there? How did you want to approach it?
I want to try to grab a weapon.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna make for the door away from the wrestling. That is my game plan.
All right. Go ahead and move your character to the other side, like in this little spot right there for me, please. Mike, you're going to go try and grab a weapon?
Are there any rocks or anything usable on the ground in the nest?
Sure, there's a couple rocks. There's a little rocks rolling around.
So, Mike, what weapon are you going to go for? I'm going to pick up the rock.
One that's closest to, on my way to the
Looks like there's a short sword. It looks pretty rusty, but it is at least it's a short sword. It's a weapon. It's better to have something than nothing.
And then I'm going to be ready with the rock in case something grabs him when he takes the sword.
I'll carry the light over it. I'll have the light over him.
Go ahead and make a dex check to try and stealthily grab it without disturbing the nest too much.
18 on the dice.
Easily done. So you kind of step up to it. You go and you take a rock and you throw it onto the other side of the nest, and you hear some scurrying that goes to that side. You quick grab the sword and step away from it. There's still 3 bodies there with 2 more weapons, and the 3 bodies do have leather armor on them. You guys feeling brave and risky, or you're going to bypass it? You've got 1 weapon amongst the group of you.
I have a high strength, so I'll go for weapon as well.
You go for a weapon?
Yeah.
All right. Roll a dex check to try and get there as stealthily as possible.
Nope.
No?
No, I died immediately.
What'd you get? 1?
2. No.
2? Okay. You want to burn a luck token? Go for it. All right. So you say a swift prayer to Hades. You feel his blessing wash over you.
That's better. So 14.
So you go ahead and you go to grab the sword, and as you're going to grab for it, you see a little rat head come popping out of it, and he goes to try and chomp at you. And just before he gets you, you flip your hand underneath the pommel of the sword, and you pop the pommel up against the rat's head like this. Poof, you bip him that way with the pommel of the sword, and then yank the sword out very quickly. The rat just kind of like snarls at you as rats do. And but he chirps away at you, and then he goes back in the nest, and you see they start getting agitated in there. What are you guys going to do? But you have the sword. It's a short sword, but it's rusty. It's probably going to do like 1 to 4 points of damage instead of 1 to 6, but it's going to do some damage.
Is it possible, Todd, to, like, the body that's on the edge of the nest, to grab the body and make it through the hole?
Is it possible?
Well, I'm pretty strong.
It's possible.
Like, just grab him by...
Are you going to? That depends on what the dice say. Be a lucky punk.
I do.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna reach for that third weapon.
You're reaching for the third
Oh,
weapon.
while he's doing that.
Okay, so
Yes, look, natural 20.
nat 20. Okay, do it. All right,
Which,
Nat 20.
wow. Wow, you guys are either crushing it or being crushed. You're
Yep.
one end of the spectrum. Okay, Mike goes and he grabs the body and yanks it and starts pulling away. But at the same time that he's doing it, you time it perfectly that you grab the other weapon and you start running. And the rats don't seem, and it seems to be like there's a swarm of them that are in there. They're not 100% sure what to do, and they jump out and they start swarming the remaining 2 dead bodies and going back and looking at you guys. They seem none too happy with your presence. Do you want to try and do anything with those remaining 2 bodies? It looks like it would be very dangerous. Or you've got a set of leather armor that you can put on. So go you.
go. I'm getting out.
Okay, I see the action taking place around the rat nest, and I'm gonna go ahead and open the door that's in front of me if I'm able.
Okay. So you go ahead and open the door, and you are, for the first time in your life, delighted to see a sewer.
Wow.
Because that means you are under a city, a town, a castle, some kind of something.
Means life.
Means life. And fortunately for you, the grate to the sewer itself has been broken off, the iron grate, and so you are able to step through, and there's like little walkways that you see on the side. It's all moss and slime covered, of course, and then there's the gullies in here where all the sewage itself is flowing. Looks and smells very nasty and rancid, and every now and then you look like you see something that's moving in there. It could be a normal snake, it could be a frog, it could be, you don't know what it is. And you don't know how deep it is, probably not that deep, but you don't know, you can't see the bottom of it.
I'm a dwarf. I'm gonna stay.
You're gonna stay
out of that.
But you do have a walkway, and you let the guys behind you know that you've discovered a sewer.
Yeah. I step through the door and I shout, "This way to the sewer," and I'll let them decide whether that's a good place to be or not.
I was getting away from the rats.
Yeah.
Away from the rats.
All right, so, and I'm assuming you've donned the leather armor.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got that added onto your defense bonus. Okay, so go ahead and take your minis and move them into the sewer. And what you can see is there's a room. There's an opening that goes into a room right, not that far down. Oh, you can see it right there, right? You can see the right next to where you're standing.
Porthole.
Right, that little porthole. And then there's a long hallway. There's appears to be at the edge of your torchlight, there's another room that's over here. And then there's an opening there that looks like one of the main causeways or whatever it is where the sewage flows. So what do you guys want to do?
Let's check out that little room.
Check out the first closest room?
Yeah, I'll volunteer to go first if anybody's scared.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea.
So
Thanks, hero.
and we'll pull this off to go to the
Yeah, I live
room.
by the motto, don't be here.
You step inside that room and you are very surprised to see that there's actually a table there and there's some food that has been cooked. It doesn't smell very good. Definitely smells like it's old, like it might be like 3-4 days old at least. And there's also a small weapons rack that is there. And on that, there's like a short sword and a dagger and a spear are the 3 weapons that are there. No short bows or anything like that that are in there. The food looks like it was partially eaten and then somebody stepped away and apparently for whatever reason did not come back. You do not see any other exits out of the room. The room is enclosed with the way you came in is the only way out of it.
Okay. I look back and I tell everyone, there's food and weapons in here if you're brave, and I'll take the short sword off the rack.
There might be some like the porridge and stuff you're certainly not going to do, but there is some stale bread. That might be something. If you're a little bit, or if you're desperately hungry, there is some food to try.
I'm going to leave that alone.
Okay. So, dwarf turning it down. So,
What else was on the weapon rack? Short sword.
short sword, a spear, and a dagger.
I'll take the dagger.
Okay. So you've got a dagger. Does anyone want to grab a spear and the short sword?
Do I feel confident about the sword I pull out of the thing versus the spear that's left?
Both of them look kind of crappy. They all look like they're going to do D4 damage, to put it in, The quality of the weapons is not great. It's been sitting around in a sewer for you don't know how long, so it's been rusted and it's blah, blah, blah. They probably all look about the same, so it'd be whatever one you feel comfortable with.
I'll grab the spear.
Okay, so you've got the spear, you've got a short sword, you've got a short sword.
Exactly like that.
The dwarf pulled what? You pulled the short sword also? Or the spear?
Short sword.
Sword, and you've got the spear?
Dagger.
Dagger. Okay, so there's a spear that's left on the rack. And anyone grab any of the food?
I'll grab the spear, and I have a spear and a sword, so I'll get 2 weapons.
Okay, so you're two-fisted him. You're Billy Badass. Okay, so that's all that there is in that room. So you've got another room over here, and then you've got like some kind of a channel, if you will, natural channel going down that you can see like about that far. That it looks like it's just more open area in the sewers itself.
Okay, I got the last room. Who's going in first for this one?
Yeah, I'll
Look
take
at
a
the look. guy with armor.
Yeah, I mean,
Send him. It's got armor.
yeah. I'll look in.
This guy's been around a little too long. I say we send in.
You've been too lucky for too damn long.
All right, so I'm sorry, you're going which way? This way or this way?
You're looking at
The room?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go into
That's a death trap.
the room. The entire room is a mimic. No. You guys step into that room if you want to go ahead and place your minis, whoever goes in, and what you see is there's a small raggedy cot that's in there. There's also a table that's got a little bit of food, but it's also got a whole bunch of like bottles and stuff on it, and there's another table that's got a whole bunch of bottles of ingredients and stuff on it. It looks like some kind of an alchemy table, and more importantly, you see a body that's on the floor just laying there not moving. So he's not playing dead because he ain't breathing, he ain't doing nothing.
Is anything labeled?
Is anything labeled? That's a damn good question.
I was gonna come back, tot over top the body, and just put the sword into it to make sure it's not moving.
This body here?
Yeah.
Yep, you go ahead and you stab it and he does not move.
Okay.
Yep. He's
dead body.
definitely toast.
I'd say he's about it.
Just kind of look around the rooms, just make sure there's nothing hiding.
He has a potion by his hand that looks suspiciously like a healing potion.
But nothing is clearly labeled.
Nothing's clearly labeled, no.
Do any of the other potions look like the one that's in his hand?
There looks like there's 2 of them of that same type. And he's also got a little belt pouch on him.
Oh, we leave him of that too.
Isn't that both?
You checked it?
Yeah.
All right.
When you have 1 hit point, that healing potion is kind of meaningless.
That's true. It's true. You go ahead and you go to grab the belt pouch, and from underneath the bed, a giant poisonous centipede scrambles out very quickly, and you realize what probably killed him. He probably got poisoned and went to go drink his, and he was dead before he could do anything about it. Make a defense roll as it attacks you. Oh my god! That's another nat 20.
Well, aren't you in luck? Because I also got a nat 20.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's the modifier?
times
way
this
that thing
session.
works. So he's only got a +2. What's your total plus to hit?
My total plus to hit.
Yeah.
Is that strength? Or?
Yeah, strength.
+3.
+3. So you're no, I'm sorry, dexterity. Yeah, dexterity because you're being defensive.
Oh, my dexterity is +2.
+2. Okay, so tie goes to the attacker, so he's going to bite you. However, you made you get a free counter attack against him at the same time. When he goes to bite you, you instantly go and attack. You attack him at the same time, reflexively. So go ahead and make a counter attack.
Oh.
He rolled a 7.
And that's plus strength, right?
Yes.
So 14.
14. So you get him easily. So he goes and he bites you, but then you literally chop his head right in half. Roll for your D4, but he's only got so many hit points.
The dice for that.
Yep.
On the D4.
Triangular.
The triangular one. Yep.
2.
2 points is enough to kill him. He does 4 points of damage to you. He gets a 4 like that.
So, but we do have the healing potions, right? So is it possible?
No, because you don't. You're not a hero yet, so you don't have the D4 rounds.
You died just like
Down
that.
he goes.
Yes.
So, but you took him out at the
got
same time.
Died a hero.
So you died a hero.
Anyway.
There you go. You see his body, he falls down, weapons, armor, everything like that, just turns to Thanos dust or whatever, and then you get a small visage of him being welcomed by open arms from Hades, because he died this quick, heroic death. Yes, he died, but he killed his killer at the same exact time.
Hell yeah.
That's the stuff of legends. And so you see him getting like this toga put on, and all of a sudden he's going to be giving a nice afterlife for what he's doing here. So you're like, oh, wait a second. There is this dangerous business, but Hades looks like he's going to keep his word on things.
He didn't fall into a pile of acid. I mean, he died a decent death.
Right. You know,
They're not going
something,
there first.
heroic. So this giant centipede is dead, or the poisonous centipede is dead. His body just disappeared completely, and he had not grabbed hold of the potion yet, so that didn't go with him. So you've got a potion there, and
There's another one that's like it, so we've got 2 of them.
correct. So you've got 2 potions that you strongly believe are probably potions of healing, based on like the way the vial itself looks. That's common for what they are. So you've got 2 potions. Who is going to carry them?
I'll take a potion.
You're going to take one. Okay. Who's going to carry the other potion?
I've got 2 weapons, so I've got a lot of stuff I'm carrying already.
I've got armor. You gonna take it?
Okay, I can do that.
All right.
2 more. So
Each of you has the potion.
The 2 guys died.
Okay, so you have heroically slain the centipede, but you yourself were slain in the process. So you have been welcomed back into the arms of Hades. All of you were able to see it. So you see that Hades does indeed keep his word, that he will judge you guys appropriately now that you've actually made it to the land of the living, because everybody else who died somewhere in the land of the dead, never actually made it to the land of the living. Since now that you're in the land of the living, he's going to judge you based on what you guys do. So you're not happy that he died, but you're happy that, okay, it looks like he's keeping his word. Mike decides he's going to take those 3 other unmarked potions. You're going to carry those on you?
Yes.
So you got those.
Can I bust up the bed and the bed sheets and fashion another couple of torches?
Make either an int or a wisdom check for, or if you want a dex, any one of those combos.
I can help him do it.
You can help him? Maybe somebody roll an advantage then.
Yes, please, someone with a better any of those scores.
There's only a total of 10.
You're able to make 1 extra torch.
Okay.
All right.
It's
So
more
you
than
got
half.
1 extra makeshift torch. Your torches are actually starting to burn low because you were walking that whole time there, blah, blah. So you've got maybe just a few minutes left. Does somebody want to, since you both start at the same time, both of those torches are about to go out. Do you guys want to light a new one?
I can lose 5 minutes. I'll go ahead and restart the torch I just made.
Okay. So
Or the
stop,
torch he just made.
extinguish it. Darkness engulfs you.
Yep.
No!
Pops up, and then we'll light a new torch, which will give you another 60 minutes on the timer. Light torch. And
Anybody else want to light a torch? Because that was mine. Mine's out.
I'll light one.
okay, so on this writing on the same timer, you have 2 brand new torches with an hour starting on them. So you flint and steel real quick before the lights of your old torch goes out, so it's easy for you to do. You do see that there is another round hallway right here, I believe it is, in order to go out. And when you look out, you see some more of the sewer system in there. And you actually see ladder going up. What do you guys want to do?
Yep. Let's step out there, illuminate the rest of the passageway.
Okay. So let me step out over here, leaning across the fairway here.
What's
And
we able to
that
see?
illuminates all this here. And you can basically see the whole area now of this small sewer system. You can see that there's sewers going further this way, but there's an iron grate that's on there, preventing you from going further. And you see the same thing here. It looks like that it's real thick iron bars and they're all rusted in. You're definitely not budging those things. You do see a body that's over in this area and a body that's over in that area over there. And they don't look like adventurer types. They look more like maybe everyday people, but they're definitely not wearing armor or carrying weapons or anything like that. And they're all looking chewed up pretty bad.
Any
you guys
obvious weapons, wounds on them in addition to the bites?
No, just you just see the bites that are on them, and their faces are kind of ashen and pale looking. They were through a rough time before whatever it was that killed them.
Okay.
I'll walk up to the one that's near me.
Okay.
One towards the and then I'll make sure there's anything of value. I'm assuming there's not.
Step it first.
Always stab for.
I'm just gonna check them.
Okay.
So I'm gonna do. If I don't find anything, I'm gonna take my 2 gold coins and put them on his eyes.
Take your 2 gold coins and put them on his eyes. Okay, so you go ahead and you put those 2 gold coins on his eyes, and you feel a little settled inside. You don't know, there's not really words to describe it, but you feel good about what you just did. But you don't see any immediate benefits that happen to it, but you know that that's the right thing to do if you're going to serve Hades. All who have died deserves to make it to whatever their final reward is. You put it in, and you get the feeling inside that if somebody is not able to make it to the land of the dead properly in time, eventually their spirit comes back and inhabits a host body, and they animate and they become some form of undead. So if nothing else, you're probably saving this individual from coming back in months or whatever it is time and possibly being a skeleton or a zombie or something like that. So you feel good about that. You feel like you're doing the will of Hades. What else do you guys want to do? You got another body over there that looks like it's been chewed almost in half. There's only the upper torso that's there. That's this body right here. And then you've got a set of, not stairs, but like rings or rungs to climb up. And on those rungs, it's all kind of like a dried brownish liquid that looks like it's been dripping down on it.
Okay.
Could be sewage stuff, you're not really sure.
Well, I was inspired by his action. I'm gonna go place gold coins on the other corpses.
Okay.
Having been in the afterlife and knowing there is one for sure,
Okay.
yeah, I figure that's the right
Can we
thing.
use some of their clothes to wipe off the rungs so we don't slip, or if that's nasty?
You
stuff?
can, but first, when you head over to this one here that's been cut in half, and you lean over and you put the gold coins, from out of her torso comes one of those giant poisonous centipedes, and he makes an attack at you. Make a defense roll, please.
Beast me!
If I can get like a 4th nat 20. No.
Do I have my dexterity?
Yeah. Yes. It's your defense bonus.
It's 0 anyway. I rolled a 7, so 17.
17 is your total. So your armor class should be 10.
10 is my armor class.
So
No,
right, but your defense.
Your roll's a 7.
It's your roll.
It's your roll plus dex, or armor if you.
So your
Okay.
hold on. So your defense bonus is your armor class minus 10.
Ah, okay.
So if you had like a 12, your defense bonus would be 2. If you had a 16, your defense bonus is 6. Because you have a 10, your defense bonus is 0. So whatever you roll is what it is.
So modified 7.
7. If we look at that dice right there, what's that number, sports fans?
7.
7. Ties go to the attacker. He bites you just barely. You try and step out of the way, and you move back so he doesn't get your hand, and he chomps into your bare feet, and he takes a bite out of your foot.
Got it.
And that's going to be 1 point of damage. How many hit points you got?
3.
So you got 2 hit points left.
Okay.
Wow.
So he bites you, but he does not kill you, and you've got this giant centipede that's chewed into your leg, and it's grabbing, it's like gnawing away at your leg, and you're screaming, get it off me, get it off me. Roll for initiative. Or actually, roll for initiative so we can figure out who goes first.
Feel a strange twang of jealousy.
Right?
10, 19,
13. 8.
8. So since it's attacked you, it's right there next to you. You jump your hand out of the way, but it gets onto your foot. You said you have a short sword that you took off one of those bodies. What are you going to do?
Stab the bastard.
You're going to stab the bastard. So you're reaching down, hopefully not stabbing into your own foot.
All right.
He gets a defensive roll as well.
That's not heroic. I'm going to get rid of that crap.
All right. So Hades blessing you to be more heroic.
10.
10 is actually enough because the creature, when it bites on you, it just kind of like wrapped around your ankle and did like that, and you just kind of stabbed it like that and peeled it off. Roll a d4 damage because it's a rusty short sword.
That would be a 3.
That's enough. You're able to like basically slice it and you cut it in half, and its body just keeps wriggling like a snake does even after it's dead. But you're able to use your sword and just kind of pry it off you, and then you quickly get down on your hands and knees and you like push to make sure any poison or whatever it is gets pushed out of you, and the thing just keeps twitching for a while, and then eventually it just dies.
Asshole.
That man there is a really bad man.
So you survive the attack of the giant poisonous centipede. He is post-toasty. You still place the gold coins on the head of the victim.
Yeah, I was damn near there myself. I'll have respect
All
for
right.
the dead.
So you go ahead and place the gold coins. You whisper a quick prayer to Hades. You thank him for, giving you the opportunity to adventure again, and you're showing him that you're facing danger in order to do good things. And you believe that he's going to be well pleased with your behavior. So you're stacking up points where in your afterlife you're going to have a good afterlife. That is all of the bodies, the 2 bodies that were there. They all have gold coins on them. The one that was in there didn't have. You already killed the one. Who gave gold coins to this guy? Oh, there. Anyone?
No,
Steven.
Steven.
No, not the guy in the room. The guy by the
Over
fire
here.
was me.
So this one got gold coins. This one got gold coins. Who put gold coins on this? Anyone? Did anyone put 2 gold coins on the alchemist?
Oh, someone did. No.
No,
I don't think so.
No, we
Okay.
Try to take his gold coins.
Okay. Okay, so you go ahead. You're gonna. So all that's left that you see now are the rungs that have the brownish liquid on them going up. You said you want to take some clothes or whatever it is and
That's
wipe them off.
I'll take my dagger, cut off the clothes, and I'll wipe down the rungs.
Okay, so you go ahead and declothe the corpses and use those as rags, and you're trying to wipe it away. But a lot of the whatever it is very dried. But you're able to, between clothes and like your dagger, you're able to chip it away. And when you're touching it, it's not poisonous or anything like that. Just kind of gross, a little bit gross. But and you see it's going up, and it looks like there's some kind of a grate above you, but it's kind of busted open. So it looks like you would be able to probably crawl through it.
All right. Yeah, let's do that then. I'll crawl through.
You're gonna crawl through?
Yep.
Okay, so you guys are gonna go up, and you go into the next area, and you end up in a very bad place that you don't want to be in.
Oh.
Well, that makes sense. That makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Makes about the 14th bad place I don't want to be.
Right, you signed up for adventure. So let's go ahead and put your minis here. So you crawl up in this broken grate right there, and you come up here, and this, for all intents and purposes, basically looks like some kind of a torture chamber. You see a number of bodies that are tied to racks. They're literally strapped down with belt buckles and leather. And it looks like all of the bodies have suffered some kind of mutilation to them. It looks like they're all dead, and it does not look like they died well. The floor is clearly covered in blood and whatnot. Most of it is dried, but you're positive that what dripped down in this area here is probably blood from these gentlemen. And it's entirely possible that those 2 people that escaped, maybe, or that were there, they might have escaped through this hole, come back down, and then got killed by something else. Whatever they were trying to escape that was doing that up here. You also see there's literally a small shallow pool filled with liquid blood, and there's a small pile of skulls that's in the center of it, and there's even a little stake coming out of it. So whoever it is has been doing this for quite some time. Probably not a nice person. You also see a couple of iron gate doors that are closed, and they do appear to be locked. But as you do some searching, well, first, do you search anything in this room, or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look on the tables, try to find some keys.
Okay. You do not find any keys anywhere on these tables, but when you look outside the other side, you see 2 bodies here. one of it looks like another torture victim, basically this guy lying on the ground without a leg. And then the other one looks like somebody who's wearing some brown robes. He looks like he's probably the jailer keeper or something. He didn't have gore all over him except for where he was stabbed. It looks like he got into a fight maybe with this guy and he was killed. The jailer guy is slumped up against the wall, definitely dead, but his left hand, which is semi-close to you, the keys are right there in his hand, but it's out of your physical reach.
Oh, see, what about with the spear? Can you reach him with the spear?
You pull it out. I'll see if I can grab it with the spear.
Make a dex check with the spear through the gate doors, and see if you can grab hold of it and slide it to you.
17.
17 is easily on your very first try. You just like wheedle it through, and you guys are going, go left, and you're like nudging them. Shut up! I got this. Sure enough, you get right through the center of the key rings, and you're able to slide it forward. You grab it, pull it up, lock it up, and sure enough, it does in fact unlock the gate, and it opens up. And on the other side of the gate, you can see in the room across, there are 2 mannequins where there's armor that's on there, and there's also a treasure chest. So there is chainmail and leather armor on there for whoever wants it. There's more than 2. There's a couple of them laying around. So whoever it is that wants chainmail armor, if you're going to be like a fighter type or a priest or whatever it is, you can have that. If you're going to be a thief or any of the leather wearing, there's that kind of armor. There is no plate armor though.
Does the guy in the robes have anything else on him?
He does not. He only had those keys, but they were the keys to your escape. So, however, the 2 sets of the multiple sets of armor for whatever you guys are going to be wearing, those are.
I will trade up for chain armor.
Chain armor it is. Let me sneak back here.
I'll take your leather then if you're not using it anymore.
Okay.
You said there's multiple sets of chain, right? Or is it just one?
Is it just
there's multiple. There's
Okay,
more
I'll
than
take
one.
chain
Yep.
as well, then.
Take chain. You've got it.
Do you have an extra weapon, right?
So leatherhead's a +1 to your AC, right?
Correct. Use a spear?
Correct.
Huh? You said you use it.
I used the spear.
Then I'll take a leather armor.
So would
I'll
you
take,
be able to
I'll
transfer?
take a chain if there's enough chain.
I take that back. The guy that was the guy that had the keys, he had some rings on his finger. He had 5 rings that were each worth 5 gold pieces. So each of you gets 5 gold pieces worth of a ring.
Okay.
So he was apparently well paid for whatever it is that he did.
Each on 5 total.
Each 5 gold pieces each that you get.
And this
The way I do treasure, I always do it per player, so you don't have to worry about dividing it up. If I say 10 gold pieces, you each get 10. If I say 15, you each get 15.
this thing in the middle of the pool of blood.
Yep.
Is there anything at the top of that? Is it some sort of shrine, or is it just a stake? With
It's just a
skulls
stake. It's just kind of barbaric looking.
around? Okay.
Yeah. Whoever this is has made a, I'm going to use Joey quotes, hobby out of this apparently. And after they're finished with their victims, they appear to take the skulls of them and just put them around in this pool. And somehow that's a still liquid pool of blood. It doesn't dry. There's enough of it that it's liquid blood in there for some reason. So somebody is quite morbid indeed. And unfortunately, you're probably in the worst place you could think of.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Have we opened this treasure chest yet?
You go ahead and you open up the treasure chest, and in there is another 5 gold pieces for each of you. So you pop open the chest, and you imagine this is probably the gold that these poor souls here had on them whenever they were captured or whatever. They got relieved of all those. This might have been whatever armor they had been wearing. Seems to be where all the stuff that they keep from the victims. And so this is their gold and their armor. And there's also weapons inside of there that are not rusty and nasty. So there's any type of weapon that you want that's in the core rule book. Basically, you can grab, whether it's a 2-handed sword, no warhammer. Anything with a warhammer, you cannot do a warhammer. Anyone who plays ShadowDark knows there's no such thing.
Yes.
There's the Underdark, there's Hades, there's giant centipedes that are poisonous. There are not warhammers. So, everybody gets 5 gold pieces, and any type of weapon that you want, you can just grab from there. Whether it's a spear, whether it's a short bow or a long bow, some cuervos arrows. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna put 2 gold pieces on the keeper.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the
Pop it
2
in there.
gold pieces.
Subtract it from your treasure, please.
Gotcha.
You put 2 gold pieces on him.
I'll do the rest of the people in the torture. How many is there in there?
There are 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. That's 8 gold pieces.
8 gold.
Actually, I take it back. There's 5 of them if you want to talk about the other guy that's lying out here that got into the fight with the jailer, which you assume got into the fight. So that's 10 gold pieces. Do you have anything left?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll give up 4 of my gold pieces, so Stephen can keep 4.
Okay.
I believe he needs 6.
All right.
Appreciate it, sir.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Yep.
So that's everything that's in here. There's another room on the other side. This is also a locked gate here, but the keys that you have work just fine. The floor is kind of broken up. When you're looking around, this is obviously something that has been here for many, beyond decades. You're talking like 100+ years. You think that this has probably been around by the quality of the craftsmanship and stuff broken up and whatnot. Looks like it's been out for a long time. You're able to easily open that gate door, and there are a set of stairs that are going up to a small doorway that also has a lock on it, and the key does in fact fit in that lock.
I'm gonna listen before we open it.
You hear nothing. It is deadly silent.
Okay.
Pop it open. You step inside, and when you step inside, the first thing that happens is all of a sudden your torches go out, and you hear a lone voice, a decidedly feminine voice, say, "The rats don't usually come up from the sewers. They tend to stay down where they belong. Why have you come upstairs?" You can't see anything. It's pitch black. The only thing you know, there's a lone voice talking to you, and you get the feeling, based on the way she's speaking, the echoing from the room, that's a pretty large room. That it's a large room that you're in. Does anyone speak?
Hades has given us a second chance. We have fought our way here.
Hades? Hades? And then you hear like a sniffing sound. You have his scent on him. You speak the truth. And then your lights come back on again, your torches flare up, and you can see the room itself. And you come into a very large, ornate-looking throne room. And in that throne room, you see lots of tables and chairs. There's a owlbear rug that's laid out on the floor, so it's opulent. This is somebody who had some kind of money to their name. You can see that there are banners floating by the hallways, by the walls themselves. The walls aren't just plain stone. You see that there's columns all along the side of them. Whoever built this particular room, you're in a place of opulence or wealth. Obviously nothing that compares to what Hades had, but in the surface human world, there's a lot. And there's a woman standing there, and she's got herself like a golden chalice drinking it, and she looks at you, and she kind of smiles, and she says, "What does our mutual friend Hades have to do with you?" And she seems to be having a conversation. Her tone has changed. She doesn't appear to be threatening. Okay, so she asked you in a non-confrontational voice. Now she seems somewhat amused, actually. And she's like, what does Hades have to do with you lot?
Well, he offered us a second chance at life in return for sharing our stories of life with him.
And she kind of listens to that, and she's got a goblet in her hand. She kind of swirls it around, and she takes a sniff, and then she drinks from it. And you see she gets like this look of relaxation or like satiation on her face, just like, oh, that is so good. And then she kind of looks at you and she goes, "Oh, you're under contract, aren't you? I know what that is." And she smiles and she goes, "My name is Lady Morath." Yes, I totally stole that from Skyrim. "My name is Lady Morath, and I rule this castle." And she sits down and she goes, "Go ahead and have a seat if you want on the benches." And you see that there are like dead skeletal bodies all over laying on the... See, you're not really super excited. And she goes, "Don't worry, they won't bite and you won't end up like them. I promise you." And she sits down, and she does not appear to have a threatening nature at this point. Unlike when you first came in the room, there was a very strong undertone of malice. But once she identified you as that you're basically embargoed with Hades, her tone has shifted completely, and it's all very casual, conversational for her, and she's like enjoying this almost as like oh, this is a fun distraction.
I'll come over and I'll just kind of push the scally off.
So sits down.
Sit down.
Yep.
And she kind of sits down, and she has very much a nobility aspect to her. She looks, the way she conducts herself, she looks like she comes from aristocracy. Every move seems like it's sort of designed for effect. The flourishes, you know what I'm saying? Everything is dramatic in its nature, designed to command attention and charisma. And it looks like somebody who's been practicing it for quite some time. You look at her face is very beautiful, but it's also pale and drawn. And there's something going on with her eyes that sometimes with the light going through, they like flash like a red color. They don't look like normal human eyes. And she's looking at you and she says, "Let me tell you who I am." And she says, "My name is Lady Morath, and I am the ruler of this castle. Like my father," and she points to the statue that was over here. Let's turn around, there we go. The statue to her left, and her father before him. They ruled the castles. Unfortunately for my father, he did not have any sons. And so when he died and I inherited it, the other lesser nobles, well, let us just say that they did not enjoy the fact that a woman was going to rule them. Sad for them. I didn't appreciate that at all. Unfortunately for them, I had had a brush with death a year before, and I had made a bargain with Hades, as you have, and he returned me to this world to continue living. But he knew that I was an aristocrat, and he knew that I was arrogant. And she kind of said it like he's right, but, annoyed with the fact. And she goes, "And so he made me keep 1 foot in this world and 1 foot in the land of the dead. And so I kill in order to survive." And she's swirling her cup in her hand, and you're remembering what was downstairs in the pool of blood, and it's rapidly coming together what's sitting in front of you on this throne. This is a very dangerous creature. But again, she seems to not have any animosity towards you at this point. And she says, "And part of my bargain is that I'm allowed to continue to do what I do, so long as I'm at Hades' beck and call for when he needs something. So let me guess, he needs you to fulfill his fantasies of adventure and excitement. Is that something about the measure of it?"
Yep.
That used to be answered with "Yes, my lady," and if circumstances were different, that would have been the last thing you ever did. And she kind of gives you like a smile, and she takes a sip, but she doesn't move from off of her.
Apologies, my lady. I didn't know I had permission to speak.
"Oh, they're teachable," which is like incredibly condescending, right? She goes, "Oh, they're teachable. How lovely. Anyways, we'll get back to the matter at hand. My guess is that if you want to earn a better place in the afterlife, you need to do things of adventure. You need to go out and prove to Hades that you're willing to go do the hard things in life, that he can live through you. That is correct, you said. Is that not so?"
That is correct.
Yes, my lady.
He says, "Well, here's how I'm going to help you. I have been ruling this castle now for 123 years, 3 months, 2 weeks, 1 day, and then there's a grandfather clock that's behind her that all of a sudden ticks and chimes, and she looks up at it and goes, and 6 hours. She goes, "In that time, I've ruled over my kingdom. I know a great, great many things. So this is what my deal is, my bargain is for you. So I uphold my end with Hades, and you can uphold yours. Since I know so much of the lay of the land, you will tell me the types of adventures that you wish to go on. And if I don't know it on the top of my head, I will go through my library and research, and I will direct you for the places to go for the level of your skill, going ever harder to challenge you each more every session. And in return, you owe me nothing except your courtesy." She seems to hold a finger on that like that. "And as long as we're good with those terms, all you need to do is tell me where you need to go, and I shall make it so." And I'm going to call that, we're not ending the session, but that's where it ends as far as the storyline directly. You have escaped from the underworld by Hades allowing it to be. You have fought your way up into the surface world, and you are now basically the liaison that Hades told you that you would meet. You realize is a vampire who with their breadth of knowledge is going to be able to tell you about all the great places to go for adventure. And you're basically now working for a better place in the afterlife. So, and you can get as much gold as you want for yourself. And as you are all now first level. The little bags that you have by your side, those black pouches, start to grumble. They seem like they're hungry for coins. And when you open it up, you have like a smell of what's it called from the underworld there? Sulfur. Thank you. Brain fart. So you have like the smell of sulfur. You know it's basically tied to him. And when you open it, you feel like something on the other side is waiting, either for 10 gold coins or for you to relay stories about something that you've done as far as in order to get here. And so in this instance, you each relayed about how you fought some of the insects and whatnot, and how you laid the coins on there. You were respectful of the dead and stuff. And he seems satisfied with no gold for this time. Just the stories of how you survived and the things that you overcame. You just get a sensation of it. And the pouch itself closes, but you know at the next time you're going to either have to have a story that you need to tell, or you need to have 20 gold pieces that you can put in the pouch in order to satisfy Hades.
That's brilliant.
And that is where we leave off. So how'd you guys like the adventure?
Yeah, it's very, very
awesome.
Good?
Awesome.
That it makes the acquisition of gold important, regardless of how well stocked your bag happens to be.
Yep.
You can have the greatest weapons, all the magic you need, but you still need to acquire gold, and that's
or take risks and do exciting things.
Yeah.
One of the other, which is an incentive to adventure. I was trying to solve that problem. I was like, I think this could be one way to give it a try, and we'll see how it works. So, you guys had a good time?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
All right.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Cameraman, Sebastian. Thank you, Vision Boost Studios. Really appreciate it. Go check those guys out. You did a great job. I have faith on the editing. He's going to do good. I'm docking the pizza. Just kidding. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see each other. This was a one-off. We're not going to be doing it on camera again, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you again for if you spent this amount of time with us, and I look forward to seeing you on Facebook in the future and what builds you guys do and how you run your campaigns. Take care, and may all your dungeons be dark.